Welcome to Swap Meet Episode 2. This is the show where we trade albums and fight about them. I had the... What did I have?
Good question. The Velvet Underground and Nico.
Okay, I had the Velvet Underground and Nico, given to me by Trey.
The name of the album is Velvet Underground, right?
Yeah, I tried to give him World Party, Private Revolution.
Yeah, that was the last episode.
It's on Spotify. It is not on Apple Music,
which is my streaming.
The only person who uses it here.
So I gave you that one instead.
All right, Thomas, what was your album?
Mine was Doolittle by the Pixies. I've heard some of the singles before, but I've not heard the whole thing, like as an experience.
Who gave it to you?
Hunter.
Okay, Trey.
You gave me Choose Your Weapon by Hiatus Coyote.
All right, you got it. And Hunter?
I had The Long Dark Blue by Swain, suggested by Thomas. Okay, so starting off the album is Hold My Head. I'm pretty sure that's the most popular song on the... Trey is holding my head right now.
Funny, good one. It is the most listened to song on Spotify.
I did not like it. It
now, why
set a bad tone for me.
Was it the screaming or was it
the screaming? I hated the screaming, and it just kind of sounded generic behind that, like the music. But I like the background vocals and the heavy bass riff.
The only reason why I think it's generic is because it's so similar to stuff you've listened to before.
Maybe.
It's funny because I was just about to say that first sound, like the first song, without the screaming, it sounds like a Nirvana song to me.
Does it?
Yeah.
They're labeled as like modern grunge.
Okay. I mean, I can see that. I understood that for the whole album, but I liked the next song, sort of.
Half Asleep, Half Awake?
Yeah, Half Asleep, Half Awake. I like the intro because he's almost screaming, but he kind of fades out at the end, and the guitar follows that.
I think that's the one that fades into the next song like really perfectly. I believe
no, that's not it. It's
I
don't think that's it. I'll find that eventually. It's on my notes. But I didn't like. Oh no, I wrote positive and negative for every song, and for a negative, I put nothing because this is a banger. I did like the chorus.
It's a minute and 51 seconds, 52 seconds.
Yeah, it's a short song.
Yeah, it's real short.
But I liked the chorus because it was done by the backup vocals, which I thought was weird or strange.
Yeah, I want to say it's the same guy. It's just sometimes he yells and screams, and other times he just sings like. Normal.
Yeah, I mean, I like it when he doesn't scream. I didn't like the screaming aspect of this album. But the third song, Punk Rock Messed You Up, Kid, it's not good.
Yeah,
it's just not good.
It's almost all screaming.
The whole thing.
Something messed you up, and he's screaming the whole thing.
Yeah. I just don't like it.
That's the thing.
I like the chorus of this song too.
Yeah, all the choruses are really good because they're not screaming. And I think if you enjoy the screaming, you'd like it. But even I didn't like that one that much.
I can't.
And that's like their second most popular song.
There's a few bands that I like when they scream, but not
like the Pixies.
Yeah, like the Pixies. You're right. Never Clean My Room. I think that was my favorite song of the album.
Yeah, that was the slowest song.
And I liked it for the chill vocals because the 3 songs before that were mostly screaming.
Yeah.
And the overall sound it was really clean to me. And It's Hard to Make Friends. I liked that one, but not as much. It was chill again, and it had nice lyrics, and it was simple. It didn't have drums at all. And
yeah,
I
think that was. I didn't notice that. Oh, that was one of the ones I didn't like as much.
I didn't like it because I couldn't see myself listening to it again.
Yeah.
And it's just a filler song, I think, and it was a good filler.
Yeah, I think so too. Here comes my favorite one.
This one? Yeah. Kiss Me Hard. Yeah, you said.
This song is so good. I love this one so much.
The first thing I was saying about this is, do you know Cool Thing?
By who?
I can't remember. I think it's on Goo. Is it the album, or I forget if that's the band or the album? I forget. But it's on Guitar Hero 3, which is what I based most of my childhood music off of it. And it sounds a lot like this song. And if you get the chance to listen to it, anybody listening, listen to these songs at the same time, or not at the same time, obviously.
Yes. I think Cool Thing is the Sonic Youth song.
Okay, it's Sonic Youth. Yeah, that's right. But it's on the album Goo, I think. Like Goo.
How did you feel about this song?
It was. I like the heavy bass. I like the straining voice without the yelling. It wasn't yelling. Yeah, exactly. It was just straining.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And this is the song that leads into the next song.
And I think it was. I don't know how much you paid attention to the lyrics, but let me see. Which song is it? I think it's Half Asleep, Half Awake. We're talking about how he's cutting everything out of his life.
Yeah, because sleep is death, and like sleep is like the closest cousin to death. And I got this off of Genius, but
It's like I cut my girlfriend and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got the first 2 lyrics. I wrote them down.
Quit
my life, quit my job, quit my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he's
now I'm staring at the end of a whole something. I don't know. It makes me happy.
And the Secrets Inside, I liked that. It's good vocals, good storytelling. It's about him like hiding his thoughts and his feelings for people because he gets shut down by so many of his peers in high school, I'm assuming. Because he's talking about like crushes and whatnot. But it brings back screaming in the chorus, which I did not like. And it was good besides the chorus, I think, which is rare for this album. The 9th song, Seen a Good Man in a Bad Mood.
Oh, you missed Phase Me.
Oh, I did miss Phase Me, you're right. That's the song that comes after Kiss Me Hard.
This one you didn't like, right?
It poses good questions. That's the only thing I was good about it. It was screaming.
It was real loud. Yeah, I didn't like that one that much, but the first 3 songs I liked a lot.
What do you mean by it poses good questions?
The lyrics. It was there's like at least 10 questions in the first verse. And it's just questions.
Just like theoretic, like philosophical stuff.
It was like why philosophical questions. I don't have them on hand.
Do you remember one of them? Because I might remember if you
here, I'll look them up and I'll go back to them later. But You're Not Special is number 10. I'll finish number 9. Sorry. Seen a Good Man in a Bad Mood. Good vocals. I liked the second chorus.
Yeah, that one was also toned down a little bit from what was
most of the songs that I like off this album are toned down. But
and then You're Not Special, which is I think we can all tell what that's about.
Yeah, You're Not Special. I like the final verse.
What was it?
I don't remember that.
You can't write you like the final verse.
You're right. That's my fault.
And I'll say what it is.
I think it's just
putting people in their place.
Yeah. I like the simplicity because I think it was similar to the filler song I mentioned earlier, which is it's hard to make friends. Yeah, that's it. Where it's just there's nothing really extreme going on. There's not too much music, and you can just kind of understand the lyrics, and I like that. And Hoping for It, this song made me mad actually.
Why?
It's just whiny.
I don't remember this one that well.
He talks about.
Was you a fucking Blink-182 fan?
No, I'm not really a Blink-182 fan. That was several years ago. But
sure.
Hoping for It, he lists all the things he wants to be in life, but
But then he's not.
But the lyrics are, "But I'm not doing shit," because he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
At least he's pointing out that he's being hypocritical. How about that?
I mean,
he's got a
maybe, but pointing it out doesn't make you not lazy. So, and then I like the last song. It reminded me of Audio Slave.
No, it's Strange Way Down, then
Strange Way Down is the last one, yeah.
No, it's Rid Myself of You is the last one, which it says, he says the long dark blue over and over again. He talks about the title.
You're right, that's on the
Hoping for
next
Strange
page.
Way Down.
I'm sorry. Strange Way Down it has an Audio Slave riff.
Strange Way Down?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has the first note of an Audio Slave song, and that stood out really strong to me. Yelling makes sense in the song, but it's just annoying still. So,
I just wanted to push you to see if you could enjoy parts of the yelling.
Part of
or
it,
how
maybe.
How it go with you.
Maybe. I understood it at some points, but...
would you... you don't have to stop talking, but would you...
I want to give it the last one.
Yeah, I'm the last
Alright, go ahead.
So this is also one of my favorites.
Rid Myself of You, I like this one. I put a star by all my favorite songs. Yeah. I think I had 3 on this one. And Rid Myself of You was one of my favorites. It reveals the album's theme. Like, that's what I started to notice.
Yeah.
Like, overall, because I think it's depression. It talks about, like, every song is a different part of his life. And
I don't know what long dark blue means.
I think
maybe like a stretch of time, where he doesn't feel good. He says, "Long dark blue, rid myself of you," which I guess he's trying to get past this, whatever this might be.
Mm-hmm. And it was chill again. It had a good riff. I can't remember the riff.
Yeah, I think it's definitely. I think the way the album starts, there's a lot of yelling and it's very intense, and then this song is really the opposite of that. Really, it's a nice ender. I think
that may follow some psychological thing where I know there's like the 7 steps of grief or something.
Yeah, there's
like however many steps there are, but I might follow the same type of thing where you just kind of follow this path from like anger to just sadness and moving on. But I like this song by itself. I like it more with the context of the album, which I rarely do. But this is one of the albums that I've noticed has like a strict theme to it. And
I think both of our albums, they're similar in how yours obviously, like I said, starts really loud, and so does Doolittle, Debaser, and then they both kind of have a quieter end with Gouge Away, and with yours being the one we just said. Rid Myself of You. Yeah. Okay, and then are you done with yours?
You want to talk about Doolittle now?
No, I was gonna say that that's like very little screaming. It's not the whole band's whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've heard of the band Touche Amore, but it's pretty much spoken word but screaming. It's like a poetic screaming.
Kind
It's
of like
just screaming. And I don't like that.
like the Front Bottoms. Is that another band that it? I don't.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're like spoken word, but he has a really raw voice, like he had been screaming all night.
Yeah,
the
Touche
night before.
Amore is just actually screaming.
Okay.
Talking about suicide or cancer or whatever.
Kind of like the Suicidal Tendency things.
Sure.
Which none of y'all
Oh.
let's do.
Yeah, no, we haven't.
Keep bringing them up because it's a good like example.
All right, now Doolittle by the Pixies.
I love it.
And I got preface this with, I've heard some of the singles before, like Debaser and the Monkey one and
Is that the name of the song or is that Monkey One?
Monkey
No,
Gone,
it's-
Monkey
it's-
Gone to Heaven and
Monkey-
and
yeah.
Hey and all those. But I've never heard the album the whole thing through. So to start off with Debaser, which is the song I had heard, I really enjoyed that one. Just the energy of it, and there's a big contrast between. Where am I gonna put it so I can look at it? God, there's a big contrast between the instrumentals being like a normal for the time thing,
Yeah.
and then him screaming Debaser.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of that low.
It's complex.
Yeah,
I
there's,
read that.
there's a lot of low versus quiet moments, which I read that he does that a lot. Which reminds me of the Foo Fighters. I guess they got that from them.
I think they got that from Nirvana, who got that from the Pixies.
Yeah, because in the song Pretender, he's just whispering at first, and then he starts,
There's a song.
Goes into it.
Like, keep going. I'll mention it later.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Tame, I really didn't like at first, just because I don't know
just-
music that well, but I guess the chorus part of it is just him screaming Tame over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
But this is the song
But,
I was thinking of. It whispers. He whispers the verses. But
yeah,
he
yeah, where
screams the-
he starts very low, which I like because I'm a fan of the Foo Fighters and they do that all the time. So, and I also noticed like since this came out in I think '89,
Yeah.
a lot of influences that they've had in other bands like Nirvana, obviously, and the Foo Fighters, and I think Wave of Mutilation I also enjoyed. It was a little more poppy because it was really soft.
Yeah.
He's not screaming or anything like that.
It just flows really
It's
easily.
apparently about Japanese men driving into the ocean and killing themselves and their families.
That's
you know?
just the specifics of it, but he mentions that. But I think it's more about like the freedom that comes with I think it's more about the freedom that comes with suicide.
Yeah.
Like you just get to escape, and people think that he's in this drab world, and he's actually exploring the oceans.
And, I also read that Debaser, he's trying to debase his music, which I guess means something about making
Setting
the
it off
quality,
edge.
making the quality of other things around it less, I guess, or something like they did with that movie that he talked about. Because he's talking about slitting eyes with razors and stuff.
Yeah, and
That
it was just
some
like really
French movie.
It was really upsetting back in the day, especially now. I mean, well, not especially now, but especially back then and still today.
Yeah.
Unsettling.
Okay.
Tame. You didn't mention this, but the song is about this woman who's like tame in like her mannerisms, but she's trying to be more outgoing and. More,
Yeah, I didn't look into the lyrics of that one.
Okay, well, he's talking about how like she's trying to be like hoeing around and stuff, but she ends up failing because she's tame, and then he screams tame.
Was that another biblical illusion one?
I don't think
Because
so.
there's a few songs that
I know later
reference the
on
Bible.
there are,
yeah.
and then there's a few Greek references and stuff too. But okay,
That song definitely grew on me as I listened to it because at first I wasn't feeling it.
yeah, I understand.
Just the random screaming all
It's
of a sudden.
intimidating.
But as you saw with my album, I can enjoy screaming. I like that too.
Okay,
Because it's funny that I gave you an album with screaming and you gave me an album with screaming,
yeah,
and how I like both of them, and it's different context, I guess, and
I
different
agree.
type of screaming.
okay. Track 4, I bleed.
You're gonna go through the whole album.
Yes,
Okay,
alright, that's fine, that's fine.
I'll just make this one short. This one I thought was fine again. It didn't leave much of an impression on me as the other ones did.
I like the
enjoyed
backup lyrics, and that's what
Yeah,
got me.
the word lyrics.
The backup lyrics or the backup vocals. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I liked I think her name's Kim Deal.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of her vocals on all of them, and
She sings Gigantic, right?
She sings Gigantic, which
Which
is
is
not
about
on
a-
this album.
never mind.
Yeah, but still, it's the only.
Which is about a black man and a white woman having sex. So you can guess what Gigantic is.
I get the theme that a lot of their stuff is like making lightheart of like dark or adult subjects.
Yes, it is.
Like
I love it.
like
Yeah.
suicide or black fucking.
Yeah.
So Here Comes Your Man, I think it was the song that could probably have been like a hit. I don't know if it was like at the time,
I don't
but
know.
it definitely something you can hear on the radio because of how like poppy it is.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take away. Go away, cat. I'm not trying to take anything away from the song, but
It's
I think
good.
that it was much more like mainstream, if you will.
It's I like the video, the music video, and the meaning or the topic of the song is homeless people.
Oh, didn't I?
Yeah, it's about homeless people waiting to die. Like,
oh gosh,
yeah.
I thought it was just about a relationship.
It's actually referencing a song that's on my album.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
It's like a spiritual successor, I guess, to the song called "I'm Waiting on the Man" or "I'm Waiting on My Man."
Look at that,
Which
is crazy.
Which is a song about homeless people.
Completely
Oh, wow.
coincidental.
As far as I could, like, I didn't. We'll get to my album.
I also think that this is off topic, but I think if Black Francis, the lead singer, the bald dude, was switched with Kim Deal, I think that'd have been more popular.
Yeah, she's a great vocalist.
It's more of it's something that more people can listen to because on Monkey Gone to Heaven, Black Francis just sounds like a prepubescent child.
Yeah.
Monkey Gone, however he says it, but then her in the background makes it better. But I still, his voice is really unique, and that somehow he's able to sound like a 13-year-old or something. But it's somehow still worked in that song.
How do you like Dead?
Oh, sorry, I skipped that one. I like that one too. I liked pretty much all the songs on this album.
Okay.
Just some of them, like Number 13 Baby and I Bleed, just didn't stand out as much.
Yeah, I understand. I feel the same way about those songs.
Okay, Mr. Greaves, we talked about this right before we started, but
Ooh.
it's the way it starts is, I think it's just like him playing one note on the guitar, and he's saying something really simplistic, and all of a sudden all the instruments,
And he's laughing. You forgot to laugh.
Yeah.
He was like forcing himself to laugh like crazy, man.
all the instruments all of a sudden come right in, and everything, it picks up real quickly. It's so good.
And he every part of the song is unique. Like even the choruses are different from each other. There's only 2 choruses in the song, but the second one, it like ends in a strange way, and it goes into the outro in a weird way. It's just really, really good song.
Okay, so
That's probably my favorite song on the album.
surprise, surprise, my favorite song is Crackety Jones.
Actually. Are you serious?
Yes, because compared to all the other songs, this is by far the fastest. Because when I was listening to it, you need to go back and listen to it because he's hitting the drum so fast and the guitar is playing so fast. It is. What are you doing?
Doing anything and
And
everything to distract.
And how he's saying Crackety Jones over and over
Yeah,
again
yeah.
is so fast. So I think
It's
that
only
was,
like
that was the most
2 minutes.
what's the word?
Upbeat.
Upbeat song. And it had that what is that? Okay, and it had this like Hispanic tinge or whatever with the guitar, which I looked up is because they played certain notes instead of another note. I don't know music theory or music stuff, but
Was it flamenco guitar?
That's
no,
that's just straight Spanish. I don't know if that's what he's talking about.
You mean Spanish or like a Mexican kind of sound?
that was just racist. it was definitely Spanish, but
It's called flamenco guitar, Spanish.
So
guitar.
La La Love You. It's also a song I had a strong opinion about, but I actually really enjoyed this one because apparently I think it was the drummer that sang this song, and
They all had vocal parts.
Okay, and he reminds me of I don't remember his name, but the lead singer of Joy Division, the one who had like epilepsy. Which apparently on one of his shows he had epilepsy so bad he left the stage and had someone else sing the song from the crowd for him.
Oh wow.
But that's a tangent about someone else, but he reminds me of that singer a lot and how he's kind of like more subdued, his vocals, and almost depressing in a way. I don't know, but I think
That's one of my favorite songs also.
I think there's very little. It's just La La Love You, and he says the same thing almost over and over again.
I think that's one of my favorite parts about it though. It's just really simple.
Yeah,
And the instrumental's great.
I think that took away a little bit from me that how simple it was. But I really liked his voice in that one. So I think it was a nice change of pace compared to Black Francis and Kim Deal.
Crackety Jones.
Yeah, Crackety Jones. Okay, Number 13 Baby. That one was fine too. Didn't stand out. There Goes My Gun. I really like this one.
Okay.
Although once again, a lot of their lyrics, I read somewhere that he said that they're not supposed to. They have a meaning, but it's not supposed to be some complex narrative. They're supposed to sound well together, which they definitely do all the time. It always sounds nice. And then
Cohesive.
Hay's also one of the singles, one of the bangers.
Love this one.
So
This is one of the songs that got me started on the Pixies. So
yeah, I don't have much to say about this one just because if you know the Pixies, it's probably the one that you know.
yeah.
And it's just a good
If you
song
don't
overall.
know the Pixies, hit them up.
Yeah, definitely this song.
Classic band.
Silver, also a fine song. Didn't have much to say about that. And then Gouge Away, which I touched on about Hunter's album. I think it was a really nice way to end it. About circling back around to the whole eye thing. First cutting eyes with razors, now we're just gouging eyes. And it's quieter and died down compared to the beginning of the track with Debaser. So loud.
Something I forgot to mention. It's just a small touch on the Swain album. The Long Dark Blue, I think it's only mentioned twice in the album, and it's in the very first song and the very last song.
I think
I may be mistaken, but I think that's true.
I think it's in Mr. Greaves where he says Doolittle. I think he
Yeah,
says
it is.
like once.
Because he's talking about how Mr. Doolittle is a reference to the character that can talk to animals, and both Monkey Gone to Heaven and Mr. Greaves talk about nature being destroyed by humanity.
Yeah, I got that from Monkey Gone to
Mr.
Heaven.
Greaves is like suicide or it's death. I think it's a reference to death.
I'm gonna say dead is a reference to death. I'm not sure though. Just
No, I'm saying like Mr.
Put
Greaves,
that
the
out there.
character Mr. Greaves is
Okay.
death, and people aren't. He's saying like the apocalypse is coming, and you're all like afraid of that, but are you willing to kill yourself to avoid it?
oh wow.
And Mr.
What's
Greaves
the,
is like the thing, or no, Mr. Doolittle is the thing that's keeping them from doing that. If there is one like that can talk to
Okay.
animals and like be the person between the middleman.
Well, what's the? It sounds like they say, "Do you have an opinion?" Is that what he's saying in that song? Do you have an opinion?
It's like, do you have an alternate? Do you have another opinion? Like,
Okay.
it's people trying to avoid
like-
that the
like a doctor
world-
thing. You do have an opinion. Do you have another
Yeah,
take
it's
on
like-
what's actually wrong?
Exactly. It's like people are avoiding that there's something going wrong with the Earth because we're destroying it. But he's like, do you have another answer to what's going on?
And when I was looking up this information on this track album, I didn't know it was so highly rated. Someone gave it like top 34 out of 100 albums of all time.
Oh wow,
Someone gave it like best album of the 1980s.
it's pretty good.
So yeah, I knew the Pixies were good, but I didn't know they had one album that was so solid and
It's
so
not.
overall.
It's not hard to have the best album of the '80s.
You're right. You're right.
Would you
Yeah,
recommend
I
this
also read.
album?
I also read somewhere is like if you're listening to top 40, it's a lot of Phil Collins and Poison. So compared to those two,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I
would
can see
you-
how it'd be easy.
Would you recommend this album?
Oh yeah. If you like classic rock or just rock in general at all, I think this is something you definitely like.
Anything in the '90s is probably influenced a little bit by this.
Yeah. I can't remember which song. One of the songs almost sounded like Primus in a way. Oh
I
god, there
couldn't
was
speak to that. I don't know.
yeah. There was one song that sounded.
You listen to 311?
Yeah, I've heard a few songs. Or Sublime. One of them sounded like a Sublime song, and how it sounded almost Caribbean in a way.
Ska.
If I don't know that.
I don't remember what song it is right now.
Was it Mr. Greaves?
It might have been. I don't remember.
It has that kind of like guitar chord kind of strummed upward on the beat, kind of like ska.
It might have been.
Choose your weapon, Coyote Coyote.
all right, Hunter.
That's not
Crooks
right.
Creek Ball.
Choose your weapon.
Hiatus Coyote.
Hiatus Coyote. I mean, it's still fucking weird, you know. But so it was a lot of the same. It was good, but it was a little too much of it. I thought. I like for just sitting down and listening to an album. It was too much at one time.
There are a lot of singles that I pick off of it that I listen to, and in research, like to talk about it with you, I re-listened to it, and I did kind of get that vibe, but there was a distinguishable like factor to each song that made it different enough for me to be able to listen to it all at the same time.
I thought there was something different, but I didn't think it was different enough.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take a year song by song, but
You trying to crack?
I'm trying to crack on it. Not going song by song, but how long you took on every song.
Yeah. I try to skip over some of them.
Sorry.
Choose Your Weapon was the intro track. Just kind of, it wasn't really a song as much as it was just kind of noise. Shaolin Monk Motherfunk. I like that one. I like that song. That was good.
Oh,
Love
no,
that name.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's
I gotta look this up real quick.
Laputa, I did not like that much. It was just kind of busy. The lyrics could not understand them.
Yeah.
Creations Part 1 was just noise. It was
It was a lead up to Borderline with My Adams.
Borderline with My Adams was good. I thought it was a little long.
I thought, but it was long, but it wasn't repetitive. And I thought the last part of the song was the best part of the song. So I didn't get that impression.
It's right around 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And most of the songs on this album are between 4.5 to 6 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Except for the things like Choose Your Weapon and Creations Part 1 and the song called Cicada.
Yeah, that's short.
And Creations Part 2. Those songs are 45 seconds, a minute and a half, something like that. They're hardly songs.
They're like interludes.
Yeah. But other than that, they're all, I think, longer than 4 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Maybe there's one that's 3 songs.
Yeah, apparently the album's an hour and 9 minutes long.
It is.
Sorry.
Can confirm.
They're all kind of ballad-esque, you know?
They're ballad-esque how?
They're ballad-esque where there's like a theme to it, so there's some like repetitive sounds, but where you start and where you end are two different things. Like, for example, the song Shell and Motherfunk, there's that very, like, neo soul beginning, but then there's this weird switch up where it almost gets, like, reggae-esque, where there's, like, an emphasis on the one. There's an emphasis on the one. That's, like, music theory behind it. It changes feels.
There was kind of a progression in the lyrics, but I'll get back to that. Through the rest of the songs, Breathing Underwater, one of my favorites. I like that one a lot.
That's fire.
Cicada was just kind of a noise song. It was like an interlude type thing.
That's kind of funny because cicadas make white noise.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the point.
Okay, I was feeling that.
Swamp Thing was kind of funny, I guess. It was just a song about a swamp monster.
Yeah.
Maybe it had some alternate meaning.
Like the DC monster Swamp Thing.
Fingerprints, I thought, was a little too much like everything else on the rest of the album.
Fingerprints has got an interesting story behind it, but if you didn't do the research, I guess it was.
I did the research on every song. To me, Fingerprints, what was the story?
She was an orphan. No, not an orphan, but she was like a foster kid, and she would like. Essentially it's like a coming of age story where they would like practice their Spider-Man crawl on a wall. So there'd be fingerprints. There'd be fingerprints dragged across a wall, and I guess that was just
what it seems like to someone who doesn't know that. The story of the song seemed to me like it was just she was talking about broken memories or something like that.
Yeah.
So it seemed like just thinking back on things, and then she talks about a phoenix. So I guess like learning from your memories, and like the fingerprints would be people's impressions on what you remember.
It was like a rough upbringing kind of tale.
Yeah, Jekyll I really liked because Jekyll was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, of course. But
or a Jekyll is an animal, correct?
A jackal.
Jackal.
But it was Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. And so it started from one point of view, and then the song it was like I'm not gonna let him in or something like that, and then the song switched up. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be like a Jekyll and Hyde different personality type thing.
Yeah.
I imagine it was, and it changed like that. I thought that was cool. Let's see, Prince Mini Kid. It was just filler, I thought.
Atari. I like Atari.
Atari was like an ode to like classic video games. Kinda.
Yeah, I guess they just like video games, and there's a lot of interesting samples. Like
again, I thought it was too long.
Did it sound like
it was another 6-minute song?
Did it sound video game-esque?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of like death sounds from games and like boot up noises and stuff like that.
Right at the end, most of it was kind of like a lot of the other songs. Like it was clearly different. It was enough. It was one of the songs that was distinguishable enough to listen to.
Yeah.
But the end of it had a lot of noises like that thrown in.
It's almost vaporwave-esque, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Chamber of Reflection.
Yeah.
By Fire was another song I thought was too much like everything else on the rest of the album.
Fire.
Creations Part 2 was
like an interlude.
Like an interlude thing.
Yeah.
The Lung, I like. It had like kind of a guitar chord that was picked in a certain way on every certain beat. It was nice, and then it kind of switched gradually to different instrumentation. Only All the Time, Making Friends was another filler song.
Yeah.
It was like interlude type thing. Molasses and Building a Ladder. Molasses is alright. Building a Ladder was one of my favorite songs. It sounded to me the most consistently just like a classic soul song than anything else on the album.
Yeah.
You thought Molasses was just okay?
Molasses?
Yeah.
I wasn't that big of a fan.
That's the one that Anderson .Paak sampled on Without You.
Which
I thought was the best part of that song. It was the sample that he used at the end.
I wasn't too big of a fan of it. I thought it was another one that I was just like too much like it.
Be that way.
Would you?
Because I listened to the whole album in one sitting.
Okay, I just have one quick
I wouldn't
question.
do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
How did you feel about the artwork on the album?
The artwork, I mean, it was interesting. I looked at it for about an hour or so.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have interesting artwork. It's like they have a template, and it just changes every time they release. There's one with obviously a coyote. It's red.
Like Hawk, Tomahawk, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
You guys keep talking, sorry.
Are you gonna go back to it?
The album?
No, not the full album. Just like because I know there's a lot in there that, especially interludes and stuff, it makes it difficult to.
Certain songs, I would go back to
like Motherfunk and.
I would probably say Breathing Underwater, Jekyll, The Lung, and maybe Building a Ladder. Maybe. Those were my favorites. Those are the ones I'd go back to.
And the most interesting thing is, did you find anything off of it?
No, I didn't.
So my album was Velvet Underground and Nico, right?
Yeah.
Earlier today, I would say 7 hours ago, I sent you a text, and I quote, "I hate you for giving me this dog shit." You remember giving this text message?
Yeah.
This was before my 180.
Okay, so you switched.
Yes. It was before okay. What fucked me going into this album is my expectations. Because
Wait, hold on. Can I ask you a question? Did
Yeah.
you listen to it in your car?
Some of it, yes.
Okay, well, the treble sounds kind of weird in your car, so that might have had something to do with it.
Possibly. I did listen to it with my headphones too,
Okay.
and there wasn't that much of a difference.
Okay.
Not that I could notice. I went into it thinking all I saw was the year it came out, so that obviously gave me just like a frame of reference of what was going on at the time and like what other music was happening.
What was the year?
67.
67, okay.
So it was a month before. Sgt. Pepper's came out. It was in the middle of the Vietnam War, all that good stuff. I went in there thinking that I was gonna get some Rolling Stones-esque music, right? And the first 3 songs were borderline, like Rolling Stones, other like Lou Reed stuff that I knew.
First 3 songs being Sunday Morning,
Sunday Morning, I'm
Waiting for
on
the Man.
Waiting for the Man, and Femme Fatale or something.
Femme Fatale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Then I got into shit like Run, 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 and Heroin, and there are some. The only thing I know how to like reference it as is a sample. There are some loud ass fucking noises and a lot of feedback, and shit like that, and it gets very abstract really quick.
It was experimental music. Back in the day.
Okay, I realize that now, but while I was listening, I almost listened to the whole album in a drive I made. Right? It was just fucking annoying. It was just there was a lot of feedback. It was very noisy. The guitar player sounds like he's got the amount of skill that I have on a guitar, where he can pick a string that's in the key of the song and then just kind of slide up and down it. That's what it sounded like.
It's a tinny sounding guitar too.
Yeah, and it was just
Not full.
fucking annoying.
In Heroin, the Jordan starts off real slow and then it gets real loud towards the end. Because I don't know how long the song is, but it's pretty long.
6 minutes.
I'm Waiting on the Man is like a build up the whole time to nothing, right? So I did a little research. I wanted to know if this was like what's going on?
There's like a bug crawling on me. Sick. Sorry, continue.
I wanted to know what the hype was about because I knew it had a lot of history, a lot of like critical history.
It was a sleeper hit. Like there were not a lot of albums sold in its original run, and then decades later, people started owning into it.
And then I saw like Andy Warhol, and then I saw like the fine print text on the cover. It's like peel back the layers and see or something like that.
Andy Warhol managed the band, and he designed the cover art. The cover art just says Andy Warhol. It doesn't say Velvet Underground on the front cover. The back cover is kind of more standard for a rock cover, but the front cover is just a banana. It says peel here, and it says Andy Warhol. You peel it, the yellow skin, there's a pink banana underneath. That's it.
So, like, and then I'm like, okay, maybe it's a concept album, and I started like reading into it. And then when I listened to it, I'm like, what if I thought about this like it was noise rock? What if I thought about this like it was a relative to something like Godspeed, which we kind of reviewed or talked about last week, or stuff like that. I looked into it. What the fuck is Godspeed's main influence? The Velvet Underground.
Yeah, there's a quote. I can't remember how many copies of it. I'm gonna say it might have been like 300 or something. But the guy. Someone that had something to do with the band said because there were so many people that claimed to be influenced by them, he was like, each of those 300 copies went to someone who started a band.
Yeah. So I went into it, I'm like, okay, this is noise rock. This is like abstract, like almost droney, spacious, just fucking hardcore shit. But from 67, and I have to cut out, and I had a lot more of an enjoyable experience. They also kind of fuck themselves for the average listener when they start an album off with something like Sunday Morning and then end it with European Sun.
What did you think about European Sun?
I liked it. That was my favorite song. In fact, my first listen, I'm like, if the rest of the album was like this, that's when I started to make the flip to realizing that it was noise rock. I'm like, if the rest of the album was like this, I could probably dig it a little bit more.
Were there any songs you didn't like?
There's this fucking sample in God damn it.
I like this story.
I think it's There She Goes or something. It sounds like a fucking car wreck. And I was listening to it in the car. I'm like, did my car just break down? Did the transmission just fall out of the bottom of my shit? No, it was just some loud ass sample that's like 30 decibels louder than the rest of it or something like that.
Apparently on Spotify there's a 45th anniversary version,
60
which is 5 hours and 51 minutes long. Thank God you didn't get that
It's
one.
like 61 songs. I just gave you the original.
Why? Were there 61 recordings?
I guess. I'm probably a lot of demos and shit.
God.
All right.
Damn.
Did you like the song Venus in Furs?
The
wild.
second time, yes.
I was not wild about that song.
Well, you know, I like noise rock, which is weird why I didn't like it the first time. Again, expectations fucked me, especially when you open up with what it sounds like it's just a bad Rolling Stones song with I'm Waiting for the Man and Sunday Morning just sounding like a wannabe Beatles.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of. But
You know what I mean. It's kind of like, it's got the glockenspiel in the back, like the kitty kind of,
yeah.
you know. Upon second listen, obviously, and I started listening to lyrics, and you know, it's got some deep shit in it. It's really well written.
I could tell you what the songs are about if you want.
You know, stuff like "I'll Be Your Mirror" is like a introspective kind of thing.
Yeah, and
Heroin is obviously about heroin.
Cocaine.
Yes.
Sunday Morning is like, you know, looking back on what you did Saturday night, and like everyone else is, you know, going to church or something, but you're coming down from a high.
Yeah. Was Lou Reed really fucking strung out?
I guess something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of songs about drugs. Waiting for the Man is like waiting for your drug connection. I thought because he was like, "Hey, white boy, what are you doing down here chasing our women around?" He was like, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm waiting for the man." And then he talks about going with him to some shady place and feeling good afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Femme Fatale. I mean, it's about a femme fatale, I guess.
Yeah.
Venus in Furs about kinky sex.
Mm-hmm.
Run, 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 another drug song. All Tomorrow's Parties, about a poor little girl. Heroin, what do you think? There She Goes Again is about like an empowered prostitute story.
Okay.
Like sure, I'm gonna fuck, suck, and swallow, but I'm not asking anybody for anything.
Fuck, suck, and swallow in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm getting it for myself.
Married man with the father of three.
And then after that, I'll Be Your Mirror. You said that.
Yeah.
Black Angel's Death Song and European Sun.
I like Black Angel's Death Song.
I couldn't figure out a meaning to those. I like Black Angel's Death Song. European Sun, I'm in the middle on.
I read a quote not a quote, or like a fact that said they lost their residency over that making that song. I don't know if residency means their record company or their publisher or their actual residency, like they got kicked out of where they were living because of the song.
I don't know. European Sun, one of Lou Reed's mentors said he couldn't stand the lyrics in rock and roll. So that was the song with the least lyrics on the album. So
I read them, and it was like three
stanzas or whatever. So Lou Reed said he kind of made that song like a memorial to him. And I guess the guy didn't like it because when the guy was dying, he said he wouldn't speak to Lou Reed. So I guess not.
Wow. Which brings me to our next portion, which is picking albums for each other. So next week it'll be Thomas and Trey, and me and Hunter. You don't have to fuck me on purpose.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Because I'm not fucking you on purpose.
I'm just gonna give you A$AP Rock, The Impossible Kid.
That's not a bad idea. That's good.
You're gonna give me A$AP Rock, The Impossible Kid?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great choice. Because
I
kind of have a thing against A$AP Rock, but I'd love to like another rapper.
I think you should pay attention to his lyrics, because boy, are you gonna have a long time to do it. So
I want to see what he says about Kirby. Does he figure out it's about?
Well, I know some of the stories behind some. I think Kirby's about his cat.
Yeah. That's one of the good songs. It's gonna take you a long time.
I just want my joke to be in there.
Okay, so is there some deep shit in there?
It's going to take you a while to get to it.
Okay, what's yours?
You get a picture of Nectar by Fish.
How are you going to do that?
Studio album.
Can you just hate on it for no reason, even if you want?
No. Let me preface this with something. The longest song is 8 minutes, and you don't have to listen to it. I give you a pass.
No. He has to.
No.
How long is the album?
No, he has to listen to it.
It's an hour long.
Okay.
No. You have to listen to it, but you don't have to listen to that song multiple times. You have to listen to the whole thing, though.
I know, I understand.
Including that song.
Really? Okay. So last song, the song that is too long for Hunter, and his little attention span.
I'll figure it out. If I like it.
It's called Tweezer. Now I'm letting you skip it because the last song is something called Tweezer Reprise, which is just like a different version of it, and it's a lot shorter. It's like 3 minutes, so you can do that one. But I really think you're gonna be okay. I think you're gonna live. I think you might come away with liking one song.
We're gonna convert them. Is that what it is?
No, there's no full conversion. I know that's never gonna happen, but this is a studio like album, and I just kind of want to test them and see what's gonna happen.
Okay.
And if you don't know this, I'm a fish head, and Hunter is a well-known anti-fish advocate. He has marched in parades. He has tried to get bills passed in Congress. There's all kinds of shit that he's done.
He started riots.
It's like when that white supremacist found out that he was 14% sub-Saharan African. Like, when his followers know that he's listened to a Fish album, they're going to burn down his house, and they're going to lynch him.
And we all make fun of Fish anyways. Okay, Trey, I was going to give you the documentary 2.5 by The Game, but then I thought of a classic, an even better album.
Oh, my God. I kind of wanted this one.
And I'm not going to give you it's OK Computer by Radiohead. They just remastered the whole thing, but it's like an hour and 32 minutes long. So instead, I'm going to give you the original version, which is only 11 songs, and I think 50-something minutes long. And it's considered their best album, or it's one or two, because Kid A is also a really good album, but it's way more experimental.
I think
so I'll probably give that one to
Melonhead disagrees with you on that, right?
Okay. No, he thinks I think Kid A is just as good as OK Computer.
Okay,
it's just a lot
weirder. It's 12 songs, but that's okay.
Okay.
Because they added more songs in the... Well, no, never mind. Yeah, then they just released a new version with more songs and remasters and whatnot.
Okay, I have to ask you, how much classic rock do you know?
Because this is the only thing.
Just tell me which artist it is.
Well, first of all, have you heard The College Dropout?
Kanye West, tho?
That's the one. See, the thing about Trey is he's gonna have to listen to more music just to give it.
Yeah.
No, I got plenty of classic rock I can give y'all.
Yeah, but like I grew up listening to 106.3, so we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, the 15 songs they have on there.
Yeah,
give me Big Lips. You still not have it? We can just.
Have you heard Have you heard Big Baby Dram?
Yes.
Fuck you.
Give him Dark Side of the Moon.
I'm not gonna give. Everybody's heard Dark Side of the Moon.
Have you?
Not all of it, but I've heard songs.
Fuck him over and give him The Wall.
I don't like The Wall, so I'm not gonna do that to you.
I agree.
What you know about that Bob Marley?
I notice when you're on Spotify, you have a set of albums you listen to.
Fucking.
And I feel like you wake up, go, it's Tuesday, time to listen to Led Zeppelin 4.
I don't listen.
Or something like that.
You like two, don't you?
Give him the Allman Brothers.
Oh, give him Live It.
I was gonna give him Bob Marley.
I don't know about Bob Marley.
Yeah, that's right. You don't know
about
Bob Marley. Yeah, that's
right.
Give me Bob Marley.
Oh, what's that song? Movement of your people. What's that?
Genesis.
No,
Exodus.
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 Yeah, well, I'm glad you like that because that's the album I'm giving you.
Nice.
Hey, what's Bob Marley's
I don't know about
band?
Bob Marley. And the Wailers.
Yeah, Bob Marley. Okay.
And the Wailers.
Okay, so we have our 4 albums.
Exodus.
Yeah, let's say them.
Okay, I have A$AP Rock. What is it?
Impossible Kid.
Okay, what do you have?
Drop of Nectar, I think.
Picture
of Nectar.
Damn right you do. Trey, what's yours?
Okay, Computer.
Okay.
And mine is Exodus by Bob Marley, the album.
Is that
and the Wailers? That's the name of the album, right? Exodus.
God,
it is Exodus. All right.
You got such a banger.
He got a banger. He got OK Computer.
I'm gonna have to listen.
We were easy on each other this time, really.
Yeah. How many songs is Exodus?
Exodus. I'm trying to look up. It's the deluxe version. I'm trying to see.
Just cut the record.
Where it is.
All right, hold on. This has been the second episode of Swap Meet. This will continue. It's just getting worse at this point. But
that's not true.
Enjoy.
2 hours and 13 minutes.
What? That's
the deluxe. That's the deluxe. That's the deluxe. Just listen. It's just the first 10 songs.
2 hours and 13 minutes.
It's just the first 10 songs.
All 3 little birds is on here.